Today we're at Chelmsford Riverside Ice and Leisure Ice Rink, and we're going to be taking a look at the hockey stop. So this is going to be the main method of stopping while you're on the ice. We've done a ton of videos on these before, but the difference between this video is that we're going to show you how to do the stop alongside with some drills that can help you develop the skills and the confidence to be able to do the stop on the ice. If you're planning on getting your skates sharpened before you attempt to learn the hockey stop, I'm definitely going to recommend that you go for a shallow sharpen. What this will allow you to do is just sort of grasp the concept of hockey stopping and the sort of positions that you need to place the blade angle in much easier than if the skates were fairly sharp. So just remember to go for a shallow sharpen to make your life much easier, and if you want more information or you want a deeper understanding on how the whole sharpening process works, there'll be a link in the video description for you. So as always, when we're taking a look at how to do the hockey stop, there's going to be a few fundamental rules that you need to keep in mind. The first one, of course, is definitely going to be keeping a wide base. What I mean by that is keeping your legs roughly about shoulder width apart. You can see that I'm in a nice athletic stance, meaning that my knees are bent over the toe caps of my skates. I'll show you that from the side. Shoulder width apart my skates, bend my knees so my knees are over the toe caps of my skates, which is right here. The next point from this is definitely going to be what your shoulders and your head are doing, and your chest. Your chest is going to always want to be square to the ice. Keep your chest up, don't slant it or droop it. You want your shoulders to be nice and square to the ice as well, and you want your head to be facing up. If your head's facing up, your weight's going to be evenly distributed through your skates, along with a wide base, giving you a low center of gravity and more control while you're on the ice. The crucial or important thing about having the knee bent and the wide base is that it not only distributes your weight evenly and gives you a low center of gravity, which equals in more control, but most importantly, it directs the weight in your overall body around the center portion of your skate's blades. Because if you're standing up and your head's kind of back, the weight's going to be towards the heel portion of your skate, right there, which is going to probably cause you to fall backwards, which you don't want to do because you could sustain quite a lot of injury. And again, if you're looking too far forward, the weight's going to be directed over the toes of your skates, putting you off balance. By having your knees bent over the toe caps of your skates, the weight is evenly distributed, low center of gravity, and it's in the middle of your skate's blades. The weight you should probably feel the weight around the sort of midsection of your foot, or even around the balls, slightly behind the balls of your foot, inside the skates over there. So that's going to be the best way for you to be able to sustain yourself and be able to be stable enough to learn the stop with the drills that we're going to show you in this video. So the next crucial part about learning the stop is definitely going to be understanding that each of your skates have two edges. On the insides of my feet over here and the insides of the skates, that's referred to as the inside edge. And on the outside of my skates and the outside of my legs and feet, that's referred to as the outside edge. So this is the inside edge, outside edge. So it's very important for all skaters to understand that your skates are in an upside down U shape, which is what gives the skate its bite or its grip while you're on the ice. So to be able to give you guys a great understanding of the different edges that you have on your skates, the best thing to do is come to the sides of the barriers at your ice rink. And if you're going to be stopping to your right, like I do, so your toes pointing to the right-hand side, which is this way like that, so you're going to be stopping like this. What you want to do is hold on to the edges on the sides, and you just want to, as you can see, my skate is pretty much straight right now, so it's not really favouring any of the different edges, the inside or the outside. I'm going to then lean on the inside edge. As you can see, inside edge is on this side, and I'm just going to shave the ice with the edge of my skate. And you can see that there is a build-up of ice building up by the barriers over there where I'm shaving the ice. Very important thing to touch on while you're doing this is that I'm not digging my edge into the ground and then trying to push it, because as you can see, it's very hard to do that. And if you dig your edges into the ice while you're trying to stop, that's what's going to happen. You either find yourself turning or the edge is digging into the ice and you falling over. Important concept, because that's a lot of problems that people develop while they're learning how to stop. I'm just leaning to the side. All of my weight's in this foot over here. Very little is here. And I'm just shaving the ice with the edge. Inside edge because I'm leaning this way. To practice on your outside edge, because you're going to be stopping on your outside edge on your right foot and your inside edge on your left foot. If you're stopping this way like I do, and the way you practice working that edge out or getting a feel for it is, again, you can see the skate is straight, not favouring any edges. If I lean that way, I'm now leaning on the outside edge of the skate. And again, I want to put the weight in my other leg and just simply shave the ice like this. I'll face you so you can see what I'm doing. And just by doing that, it gives you a sort of a feeling or understanding of what the blade of the ice will feel like when you're shaving the ice. If you're seeing a build-up of ice at the end, that means you're leaning on the correct edge and you're pushing correctly. If you're not getting a build-up of ice, just make sure that you're being able to lean enough so you're on the outside edge and you're putting only a little bit of weight on that skate to allow it to shave the ice, not for the edge to dig into the ice. So what I'm going to show you now is a drill that you can practice to work on your inside edge control while you're on the ice. This is something that, again, you can practice on the barriers or in the middle of the ice, but whichever feels more comfortable to you while you're learning is which one you want to try and go for. But I'm going to do it from here. Key point to remember is, of course, nice athletic stance. You want your legs about shoulder width apart, knees bent over the toe caps of your skates. This is going to be fundamental with pretty much any skills you practice on the ice, so be able to remember these ones. So while we're here, we're practicing our inside edges, which is leaning on the edges of the skates like this. If I turn to the side, you can see I'm not upright. My skates are inwards like that, leaning on the inside edge. And all you're going to do is I'm going to start off with using my right skate over here to push my left skate left on the ice while it scrapes with the inside edge to give me an understanding of how to do this. So I'll show you what this looks like. The sound that you can hear right now is definitely going to be key. It just sort of allows you to know that you're doing this drill correctly. The next one is going to be pushing with our left skate, our right skate along the ice to the right-hand side using the inside edge again. So remember that lean. Notice that there is a build-up of ice as I'm doing this. That sort of, again, lets you know you're doing the drill correctly. Points that you want to keep in mind is if you try to do this and your skate digs into the ice and doesn't move, you're either putting too much pressure on that blade or too much weight on the inside edge, which just digs it into the ice. You just want a little bit of weight on it so it shaves the ice. That's all you want to do. And if you find yourself sort of turning while you're trying to do this drill, like you might be pushing and finding yourself turning like that, again, that's going to mean that you're putting too much weight on that blade or you're leaning on it far too much. So just be able to keep these points in mind while you practice this drill. Another variation that you can work on to this drill, which again works on your inside edges, is just going to be standing, again, athletic stance, remembering to lean on the correct side of the blade's edge and just push continuously all the way out to the left. And again, going to the other side. So this is just a nice drill that you can practice to be able to help you understand how to lean on the correct edge, how to apply the right amount of pressure and weight, and also just to give you a bit more confidence while you're using your edges. So all you want to do is just start off on the edge that you want to push from. In my case, it'll be the left or the right, and you just want to use the other foot. In this case, I'm going to use my left foot to push my right foot along the ice continuously. As you see there. And then again, I'm going to use my right foot to push my left foot on the ice continuously. Remember to lean on the right edge. Inside edge, as you can see there, and I'm also using my inside edge on my right skate to push my left skate along the ice. Another drill that you can practice to work on your outside edge control, in this case, rather than the inside, which is probably going to be the most difficult, is going to be sort of bending your knees and having one foot like this. But I'll show you the importance of this in just a minute. But the reason that we work on this drill in this position is because if you're stopping to the right, the way I do, which is this way, so I'll be going forward and I'll be stopping this way, my right leg is going to be using the outside edge. This is why we practice it in this position, because it's the same position it will be in when you're stopping on the ice. So what you do with this drill is bend your knees, of course, low center of gravity, really helps your control. Put the skate like this, as you can see here, leaning on the outside edge. I'll turn to the side. You can see that it's not standing straight up, it's bent, so it's leaning on the correct edge. So I'll show you a quick example. So all you do is kick off, go forward, and stop. One more example. Go forwards, and stop. One more time, kick off, and stop. Working on your outside edge drill for stopping is very, very tricky. I'm not going to lie, it's not as easy as the previous ones or as sort of simple to grasp. This one involves a lot of balance, so you're going to have to remember to keep a low center of gravity. And I'll talk as I do this drill so you can see exactly what I'm doing. So what I'm going to do is push off with my right skate. Keep in mind my right skate is going to be the one that I'm going to be practicing the inside edge drill stop. Because I stop this way, this is the skate that I need to practice stopping in this position. The way we're going to do that is what I call an inverted snowplow, which is like this right here. Very difficult position to even stand in if you're fresh on the ice. It involves being able to keep a low center of gravity, transferring your weight to your left leg while you're standing up to be able to turn this foot around and plant it in the right position. So what I'll be doing is just shaving the ice with my right skate, as you can see, leaning on the outside edge, which is very, very tricky, but I'll show you how this works in practice. So I'm going to push off with the right skate, weight on this leg, bend this leg in, and just shave the ice very gracefully. One more time. I'm going to push off with my right skate, as I showed you. I'm going to then turn it in the air, lift it off the ice. All the weight will be in my left leg at that point. I'm going to turn it, face it into the correct position, and gently touch it down as I shave the ice using the outside edge. That's the most important point of this drill. If you find the skate digging into the ice, you're either putting it down too straight up, so it's hitting on the inside edge rather than the outside edge, or you're applying too much pressure. There's barely any weight in the skate. It's just going to very gracefully shave the ice. One more example of that. So I'm going to push off with the right skate. Weights in here, turn the skate, bring it down, outside edge, right position, build up of ice at the end to let me know that I've done it correctly. I'll show you what the drill looks like in constant practice. Back round the other way, push off, stop, push off, stop, push off. So the two biggest problems that people run into while they're learning this stop is definitely going to be, number one, your edges dig into the ice when you stop. The reason for that, or the main reason for that, is going to be because you're applying too much pressure or weight onto your edges, or you're not leaning on them correctly. If you find them simply just digging into the ice and coming straight off, try not to favor any skate and sort of lean heavily on it. You just want to have your knees bent, apply an even or an as even amount of pressure as you can in either skates. Remember to lean back so you're on the correct edges and then sort of shave the ice. Don't dig into the ice, you just want to shave it. That's the most important point. So if you find yourself turning or spinning around in circles while you're trying to stop, if you notice my skates or my legs in the video that's riding around now, that my skates aren't shoulder width apart, my knees aren't bent, so I'm not in that athletic stance that we covered earlier. That's going to be the main reason that you find yourself spinning or turning when you're trying to stop. So make sure that you're in that athletic stance, knees bent over the toe caps of your skates, and skates roughly about shoulder width apart. The next thing that you need to keep in mind is that the stop isn't a turning motion with your skates. It's not the same thing that you'd be doing if you're trying to turn around a corner. You need to pretty much turn these skates 90 degrees from the direction you're traveling in to allow you to stop, while keeping in mind you need to be on the correct edges, as we showed you earlier on in the video, and you also need to lean back ever so slightly while you're doing the stop. So hopefully this video has been helpful. Of course, as always, I will include clips of examples of showing you how to hockey stop. We have plenty of videos that you can watch to be able to pick up the main tips to be able to do this. They'll be posted in the link above, and there'll also be a link in the video description down below. But of course, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe to the video if it was helpful, and be sure to follow us on Facebook and also Twitter for any updates. If you have any video requests, be sure to send them in to me. And this is Chris from Hockey Tutorial at Riverside Ice and Leisure in Chelmsford. Take care till next time, guys.